Hi guys, welcome back to the Netball Network. In my last video, how to spring clean your mind from netball, I talked about how you can get outdoors a bit more and do as much training as you can outdoors. So I will link that video below. If you haven't watched it yet, you can click on it and have a little watch. And for now, I've got a whole load of exercises that you can do on a park bench. I've just filmed them all on a different bench, but then looking at this video, I can see it's well better here, but you know, I'm not doing another session. I've already come from the gym, so. Squatting is a must for our park bench workout, as for netballers it helps us with all our basic movements like jumping and pushing off the ground. Making sure you're doing it correctly is a must because it can also help reduce the risk of injury. So make sure when you're doing this exercise you don't let your knees bend in, and if you find that they are bending in, then maybe simplify it. So I've put a few simplified versions of the exercise up, so use those until you've built up the strength to do it at full range. Throwing in some single leg exercises is really beneficial if you're a netball player, because you've got to think about it. We do a lot of 1-2 landings, we do a lot of pushing off one foot on our change of direction, so it's important that actually when we're training we're building up that strength in the single leg as well as in the double leg. So I've put this Bulgarian split squat in there. It is not a nice one. You're definitely going to feel the burn and you're definitely going to have a bit of an ache the day after from it, but it's a brilliant exercise for doing single leg stuff and for ironing out any imbalances that you might have. So if you've got a left leg stronger than your right leg, this will make sure that there's no hiding for those muscles and each leg gets worked equally. As I said with the squat, this is also really helpful to help reduce the risk of injury. Okay, moving on to upper body. So we definitely need this in netball to help us with our passing. So the stronger our upper body is, the stronger our passes are going to be, and we're going to be able to pass over a further distance. So it's definitely one I would throw in there for our park bench workout. I've got 2 exercises for you, tricep dips and press ups, and I've got plenty of variations. I know I'm not the best at upper body strength, so I definitely wanted to throw in enough variations to make sure everybody's covered. If the press ups are too difficult even with the variations, then you can go on your knees and hands on the grass and do it there. And I don't really have anything else for the tricep dips, so maybe that's one I'll look up for the future. Moving on to power. Now, we've got a number of exercises in this section, but you need to make sure that you can do them safely. So the bench might be too high, or you might not be comfortable with the exercise, in which case I'm going to give you variations that you can just do on the floor. First exercise is the step up, which is pretty self-explanatory. All you're doing is stepping up onto the bench and driving the other leg through. You want to feel and channel your inner sprinter in this and really drive that leg through so that it's in a 90-degree position. To progress it, you can make it more explosive and jump at the top phase of the movement. For me, this bench was a little bit too high to drive my knee up, so I just kept my legs straight as I jumped up. So it's up to you really. If the bench is low enough and you feel comfortable, by all means go ahead, but I would suggest that you don't drive your knee up on that one and you keep your legs straight down. Alternatively, you can just do high skips on the ground, really thinking about driving that knee up. Next exercise is box jumps. So exactly the same as the squat, squatting down but exploding up and landing on top of the bench. It's really important that you think about keeping your knees out when you're landing, and also if you can't get your feet fully on the bench, then I recommend that you do not do this exercise. What we don't want is landing with your feet half on, half off the bench, potentially causing an injury. So if you can't do that, then I would say do it on the floor and just do broad jumps going forward, still thinking about that squat position down, exploding up and forward, and landing, making sure our knees are going out. And the last power exercise is toe touches. This is a great one to get your speed up a little bit and your heart rate going, and also to help you practice being light on your feet. If you don't want to do this on the bench, you can do high knees on the ground. And finally, we're going to finish off with some core stability exercises. A strong core is going to help you with pretty much every aspect of your game and every movement that you make. And on top of that, even though we all know netball's a non-contact sport, there is a lot of physicality in the game. So you need to make sure you've got a good core stability in order to hold your own on court. So I've got 3 exercises for you. I've got V-sits, I've got windscreen wipers, and I've got a plank. And again, I've got plenty of variations, and you can take your pick, whichever one works for you, and even work towards progressing up those variations as you get stronger. And that's it. That's all my park bench exercise netball hacks. Thanks for coming to watch another video at the Myers Netball Network, and thanks to all the subscribers. I really do appreciate your support. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to support the channel and to get more videos like this. That's it from me now, and I will see you next week.